Inspired by a well-renowned Chinese novel, Black Myth Wukong lets you step into the shoes of a monkey warrior on a quest to reclaim the lost relics of their god. This journey takes you through stunning landscapes filled with greed-driven, hateful, and violent creatures, each eager to block your path. Let's dive into what you can expect from the mechanics and gameplay, and stick around to the end for my personal thoughts and final rating. Long ago, your god was punished by the heavenly court and turned into stone high in the mountains. Now, you're tasked with retrieving mystical relics that once belonged to this god. Early in your adventure, you face wolves in the forest, the first of many enemies that will only get stronger and meaner as you progress.
Another monkey, I see.
The combat itself isn't excessively graphic. You're wielding a staff, so there's no blood or dismemberment. The language remains clean throughout the game. However, some cutscenes take a more mature turn. Different animation styles tell various backstories, including some minor claymation nudity and one particularly graphic scene where a character is literally torn apart. These moments likely earn the game its M rating. You play as the Destined One, a monkey warrior who is a master of staff combat. While your character doesn't speak much, preferring to listen to others, your fighting skills speak volumes. As you defeat enemies and complete challenges, you'll gain experience points to unlock and upgrade abilities across various skill trees. The experience is used to ignite sparks, unlocking new fighting styles, enhancing spell effectiveness, and boosting stats like health and stamina. The skill system might seem complex initially, but nothing is set in stone. You can reallocate your sparks at any time, letting you experiment with different builds until you find one that fits your playstyle. Enemies come in all shapes and sizes. Slow and powerful, fast and agile, and even some that attack from a distance. To deal with them, you have several options. Light attacks can be chained into combos, spells provide an edge, and heavy attacks add devastating power to your arsenal. There's no block buttons, so mastering the dodge roll is essential. Perfectly timed dodges leave a ghost image of you behind for a few seconds, adding a tactical layer to combat. There were 3 fighting styles available, which you can quickly switch between provided you've unlocked them with the right sparks. To use the strong attacks associated with each style, you need focus charges, which can be built up either by standing still or through regular combat. Accumulating enough charges lets you weave powerful strikes in your combos or unleash a massive, slow attack for significant damage. As you progress, you'll gain access to new spells, some tied to the main story and others unlocked through side quests. You can equip up to 3 spells at once, swapping them out at shrines. Spells use mana, and once depleted, you'll need a rest to recharge. Each spell also has a cooldown period, so strategic timing is key. Defeating certain enemies grants you the ability to transform into them temporarily, complete with a fresh health bar and new attacks. This transformation can be a game changer in tough battles, offering a final push when your health options run low. Spirits acquired from blue flame covered enemies provide another layer of customization. Only one spirit can be equipped at a time, each boosting your stats or offering other combat advantages. By filling your chi bar, you can briefly transform into the spirit to perform a special attack. Throughout your journey, you'll come across various pieces of equipment, including helmets, gloves, curios, and cords. Armor pieces often belong to a set, providing extra benefits when a full set is equipped. Curios act as accessories, enhancing your stats. Your gourd was essential, providing healing drinks. Different gourds offer various benefits, and you can enhance them to hold more charges, or increase their healing potency. Soaks can also be added for additional benefits, making your healing even more effective.
You need a fine gourd to drink from.
Crafting is another key feature available at shrines. By gathering materials from plants, mushrooms, and defeated enemies, you can craft new medicines, armor, and staves. Bosses often drop the rarest materials needed for the best upgrades. The game is divided into chapters that grow larger and more complex as you progress. While Chapter 1 starts off fairly linear, subsequent chapters offer branching paths filled with hidden treasures and side quests. Fast travel between chapters is possible via shrines, which is handy since returning to earlier areas sometimes reveals new, previously inaccessible places.
His hand, so woe upon thee.
Have you played Black Myth Wukong, or are you still on the fence? I'd love to hear your thoughts or questions in the comments as we move into my final review of the game. I loved the combat, and the environments were gorgeous. The only big problem that comes to mind would be some of the bosses having extremely annoying mechanics or just too much health, turning the entire fight into a dragging endurance test. There was no shortage of bosses available in the game, and the majority were a blast to figure out and overcome, but some just felt like a chore. It was very impressive how much there was available to play within the game in terms of combat builds. From any number of spirits to equip to the possible variations I could make my gourd, the options felt limitless. And having the option to take everything back and put it somewhere else was amazing, really giving me the freedom to play around and try new tactics in a fight. Except for armor, I did have a difficult time finding the required materials needed to upgrade everything I'd wanted. It was possible to miss a lot of a chapter and move right to the end. However, there were huge benefits to exploring every nook and cranny and talking to everyone I found. For instance, there was a special area unlocked from doing a side quest that put everyone who was needed for crafting or upgrading armor in one convenient spot, a one-stop shop for powering up. So much nicer than fast traveling to each individual character.
Self-refinement is the way to make...
The visuals looked stunning. Even on lower settings, the environments are detailed and the character designs are impressive. I'm giving it a solid 5.
Save me!
The story was a bit hard to follow. The themes of greed and love were evident, but the overall plot felt somewhat convoluted. Perhaps familiarity with Journey to the West would help. For now, it's a 2. I absolutely loved the gameplay. Learning combat combos and new fighting stances was a blast. I didn't like how a lot of the world seemed open for exploration, but I was blocked by an invisible wall. Still, overall, very good. I'm handing out a 4. There was a lot of replayability value to the game. I went through chapters multiple times, finding something new every time I did. Some events or bosses weren't even available my first time through. I'm going with another 4. Most of my time spent in the game was fun. Only once or twice did I get upset or salty in certain situations, but I eventually overcame the problems and had fun again. It's getting another 4. Earning a well-deserved 4 out of 5 for Black Myth Wukong, placing it on the top shelf. I had a great time with this game, despite some narrative confusion. If you're a fan of action-packed games with intricate combat systems, this one's worth checking out. If it's not quite your style, no worries. I've got plenty more reviews that might suit your taste. Just take a look at the lists on the screen over there. I know we'll find something you'll love.